Guys, I am so excited to come your way this time with the product that we've all been working on. So I'm just going to cover every single feature in our dark theme, the extension we've all been working on so hard. And so we all see the effort that we put into this. A little disclaimer, the dark theme doesn't get applied until the page finishes loading, which kind of creates this bad experience to the user, because if the page is going to probably, I don't know, download a bunch of resources like, like 5 images, and if they are huge, then the user is going to sit and stare at a light screen, a white screen, before they see the dark theme, which is not really ideal. But well, we are working really hard to resolve that. So let's jump into the features. So this is the login. I'm just going to try to log in by not providing anything or providing invalid details. And if you notice the screen white and then turn black, that's the little disclaimer I mentioned earlier. So the user gets this dark message appearing to them. I'm going to log in. Okay, gmail.com, and I'll type my password. Hopefully this is the right password. Okay, let's see. There you go. Yeah. Okay, so I am in. So there you go. This is the user is signed in successfully, and this is your dashboard. You can view your scores, you can view all your current projects and everything like that. I could also go ahead and view all the events that I have. So let me just go ahead and do that. So from there you could actually see so these are all the events that's happening. So that's happened. Okay, yeah. So I could go ahead and I could click on show. Whenever the event is happening, you can say, hey, I want to join, I'll be attending, stuff like that. So I can just go ahead and click on show, and it's going to show me that event's details, and also in dark mode, and everything looks great. Just we make sure we choose colors that doesn't affect the eyes of the user. And this is a YouTube link that will take the user to this site, and we made sure that when the user is interacting in the dark theme, the site should more like look different. It should let them know that, hey, something is happening. So when you hover, we actually make sure that you see that you've hovered on the page, like that. Let me just go back to the dashboard, and then to the events, and then we can see the calendar that's over there. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit my calendar. I could have clicked back, yeah, but anyways, so there you go. This is the calendar. Everything looks great. You can view month, you can view week, you can view day, and you can also move through the different periods. So this is February and all that. And one thing that we highlighted in the extension, which I'm going to show when I get to my plan, is differentiating between the different things in the calendar, like the different days. So I'll just get to that in a jiffy. So here you go. We can view everything. And so that's the event. Everything's working perfectly. And you notice how the little hover works. When this is the active tab, so we don't really show any hover effects. It only works for the ones which are not active. So if you add multiple, the other ones would have this hover effect. So anyways, then let's get to my planning. Here, this is where you can view the full calendar. So so this is everything works just like you saw earlier in the events. You can view by day, you can view by week, and so what we wanted to do was we wanted to make sure that when the user views their calendar, they would actually get to know, okay, these are the days in this month, all right. And so we had to actually kind of try some differentiating between the colors. So when I look at this calendar for April, you notice that some colors are darker and some are lighter. The darker ones are like days that don't belong to this month, and that helps the user. So when they are on the intranet, and they are especially on my planning, the calendar, they get to see, okay, these are the events for this month. Okay, so I'm not going to look at these because these are like past. They are done. So these are the ones I'm going to look at. which is extremely helpful. You just, a day at a time, right? So you just want to stay within the month, and you don't lose track of what's supposed to happen in the month. Then of course, for the current day, we also made sure it kind of stands out, and we chose the exact same color because we don't want to create so many colors on the screen, and then the user kind of gets confused. So yeah, that's it. And but a little issue we also have is, the contrast over here. It's just so, it's been difficult trying to apply appropriate colors because I cannot see this right now as I am talking, because of the I don't know, purple or violet color against the gray or black color. That just doesn't work. And no matter what the color that we apply, it's just quite difficult because, when you apply a lighter color, now you have these ones having an issue. So this is what we have. So we're going to try to find a way around it and fix it so we get this to work very well. So that was just another thing we wanted to throw in there so everybody gets to know. And then you could also view the calendar in the full screen mode. No distractions. Everything works perfectly. Great. And the user can also go ahead and filter, which also works just fine. Everything is in dark mode. It's like we just went full-blown dark mode to the users. So there you go. I applied it, and that's why I have terrible choices. But anyways, so we move to the next, which is projects. The user can view all the different projects that they've done, and also dark mode here. So I'm just going to pick just one, and then you get to see it applies for the rest. Again, these are all going to show that when you click, something's going to happen. That's why we apply that transition, from one color to the other. So here you go. This is just loading, and it's loading. Okay, let's get in the video. So all right, so this is I mean, this is how the tasks are going to look like. So you have a little down here to tell you that you are done with the event, and you can view the help, as in those who have actually done it from your cohort or other cohorts. So everything is dark mode. So then query review as well is also completely dark, so you have everything, and then again it's the same applied in the other places, okay, the other pages as well. Okay, so I can now view my quiz, and that also works the same. You have the same across all the projects. I think I'm just going to go ahead and pick maybe a project with lots of activities, so that we could all see it. So I'm going to pick, is it Emacs? Yeah, I think Emacs should do. Okay, so it's loading. There you go. So we have a code stand out, so the user can easily know it's a code. If you look at your quiz, everything is intact. And again, the checker also provides you a dark theme so the user can actually see, and we also made sure we distinguish between requirements and code checks on requirement, checks on code, and all the different kinds of checks. We made sure that's all being taken care of, and the user gets this really nice effect like that. So, and over here as well, you get to see appropriate color codes for every single check that happens, so that when you see this, okay, well that's a code that's passed, and if this is a code that failed, and stuff like that. Okay, so that also works just fine, and the mini get sandbox icon here also works perfect. It's also dark, and query review, like we saw earlier, also works just fine. Loading, and there you go. So everything is fine. Now I'm going to have to show you one of those pages where I probably have a task not done, which my intention is to actually get them done when there is time. It's just not been smooth as you expect things to be, but we'll get them done. So I'm just going to scroll down. I think probably Let me see where, I think, yeah, maybe over here, more malloc free over there. I'll probably be in printf. But anyways, so here I'm gonna switch to the doc, and tasks that a user does successfully, it's 100%, it fails to the end. Same old same you'd have in the live mode. And just going to scrolling down, going down. I'm trying to find one of the tasks. Okay, so there we go. I had to try to find one of those. So here it is, to get a little indication that you really couldn't get to the end of it. Just the way in the light mode you'd actually see, where they'll show that this is more like the percentage that you've covered out of the entire 100%. So we also have that as well. And so let's move to the next page. Key reviews. Also, we have the dark mode, full dark mode, on for everything here. And when you try to review somebody who's already been reviewed, you get that little, dark out message there. And an evaluation quizzes, where you can find all the quizzes that you've done. You can also view the details, and everything's intact. Every single thing in here is intact. You can view everything dark mode. And then curriculums, everything here, it's also dark mode. When you try to read about the specialization or the foundation, that's also in dark mode for the users. So there you go, everything's great. And also concepts, the different concepts that we kind of cover as resources inside of a course, everything is dark mode. Okay, and then again, when you hover, the user gets to know something's going to happen, and then you can pick whichever item you want. And then conference rooms, so the point is everything is in dark mode, with the exception of the little problems I actually mentioned earlier. Again, the ones that right now I'm here, so when you hover, we don't change the color to that tomato or dark red. It's on the active tab, doesn't really change to a different, a very different color. It doesn't. All right, and then when you come to service, also I don't have any server right now, and I think another disclaimer would be, there are other things that we did not fully test, so we may not have covered every single change that we wanted to. Let me give you an example. In my sandbox, here it's dark now. I'm wondering what happens when the user clicks on destroy. Maybe some message box, I don't know, something happens. Well, nobody's going to try to click and find out, because I don't want to stand a risk of losing my sandbox. Maybe you do. Maybe you could try testing it. You could let us know. That was just by the way. So we're in dark mode. Everything's great. And then video on demand, also dark mode. You can view all the video elements. And then the search, everything is everything's great. And then you can view your peers, here, and also we're in dark mode. Okay, and you can go to view your captain logs, and that also is in dark mode. Very awesome. So you get to see all of them like that. And you can go to your profile. So I'm going to go to my profile, and I can also view all of my details, like search, and everything works just fine. If you try to make some changes to and you provide wrong details, and you try to save, and an error message appears. Okay, so there you go. We have this little error, and then there are indicators here that try to tell you these are the ones you got wrong. And also when you try to post that I got a job, all of that, we make sure everything is in complete dark mode. Every single thing, dark mode everywhere. So yeah, so a couple more things that we added. You probably noticed one, but this is a thing. We made sure that we wanted to make sure the user kind of has fun on the intranet. It's really fun being on the intranet, but I just wanted to add something extra, so we just have this little transition. And also you can see this spinning around because we don't want the user just staring at a static screen all the time. So they have something something active happening on the screen. The very last thing is, when the user is on not on a smaller device, okay, but anyways, you could probably reduce the size of your browser, okay. That's what I'm talking about, not smaller device. So what happens here is the user could you click, and we actually want you to know that, hey, you actually interacted, okay, with the element. We don't want it to look like nothing's really happened, no. And then the user can actually do the same thing. So I think I'm just going to switch out of this and just reduce the width of my browser. Okay, so there you go. So we over here everything works. We are in dark mode, and we make sure when you are in a smaller width like this, we rather apply the color. We don't rotate things around. We just keep things simple. There you go. This is what we've done, or what we've accomplished. Let me just log out quickly. So it takes us to the login page quickly. So I'm just scrolling down, so just log out and give me a second. There we go, guys. Thanks for your time. Okay, bye.